The Balanced Life. The Mexican Fisherman. To me, this is probably the most important lesson in this course. It is basically a do what I say and not what I did lesson. We've all heard the question asked, if you could return to your 18-year-old self, what advice would you give them? I think my response would be best summed up by one of my favorite stories ever. It goes like this. An American businessman was standing at the pier of a small coastal Mexican village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. Inside the small boat were several large yellowfin tuna. The American complimented the Mexican on the quality of his fish. "How long did it take you to catch them?" the American asked. "Only a little while," the Mexican replied. "Why don't you stay out longer and catch more fish?" the American then asked. "I have enough to support my family's immediate needs," the Mexican said. "But," the American then asked, "what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican fisherman said, "I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take a siesta with my wife, Maria, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life, senor." The American scoffed. "I am a Harvard MBA and could help you. You should spend more time fishing, and with the proceeds you could buy a bigger boat, and with the proceeds from the bigger boat, you could buy several boats, and eventually you would have a fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you could sell directly to the consumers, eventually opening your own can factory. You could control the product, processing, and distribution. You would need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City, then LA, and eventually NYC, where you can run your expanding enterprise." The Mexican fisherman asked, "But senor, how long will this take?" To which the American replied, 15 to 20 years. "But what then, senor?" The American laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right, you would announce an IPO and sell your company stock to the public and become very rich. You would make millions." "Millions, senor? Then what?" The American said slowly, "Then you would retire. Move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife, stroll to the village in the evenings where you could sip wine and play your guitar with your amigos." I love that story. It says it all. Even more, it is the very essence of why I created VBO Nation and what makes me so passionate about it. I work with a lot of millennials. If there is one thing they get way better than my generation ever did, it's the balanced life. We were not put on this earth to just work and pay bills. As you've picked up from the lessons in this course, until recently, there was no VBO opportunity. We all basically had to work our tails off. 5 years ago, when I decided to launch MarketSense using the VBO strategy, people didn't get it. People would ask, "How many employees do you have?" To which I would respond, "None." "Well, where is your office?" I'd reply, "We don't have one." At first, people would look at me confused. I could tell they were thinking, "No office, no employees, you are not a real company." As I explained to prospects, many that are now long-term clients, this strategy actually works better for them and for us. When they hire MarketSense, they are not just getting who we happen to have on our payroll. They are actually getting a team we fielded just for them. Within 72 hours, I can put together a marketing team custom created for a client. And it just gets better. Since I don't have an office or full-time employees, we can typically deliver a better result, quicker, and more cost-effective. The typical companies just cannot compete with this. The direction you decide to go with your VBO lifestyle is endless, literally. As you will see in upcoming courses, you don't even need to choose one superpower and stick with it. Many VBOs we've worked with have a portfolio strategy. In VBO Quick Start, you will learn exactly how to create and grow your portfolio strategy.